want to go back to what I addressed at the outset. I mean, this was not only sloppy, it not only violated all procedures, but if this information had gotten out, American lives could have been lost. The Houthis had this information, could reposition their defensive systems. So I want to get a little more information about this. Director Gabbard, did you participate in the group chat with Secretary of Defense and other Trump senior officials discussing the Yemen war plans?
Senator, I don't want to get into the specifics.
Ma'am, were you on? You're not going to be willing to address. So you're not, are you denying, Matt, will you answer my question, ma'am? You were not TG on this group chat?
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
So you refuse to acknowledge whether you were on this group chat?
Senator, I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Why are you going to get into the specifics? Is it because it's all classified?
Because this is currently under review by the National Security
Because
Council.
it's all classified? If it's not classified, share the text now.
As the White House previously
Is it classified
stated,
or non-classified information on this text?
I can confirm.
Director Radcliffe, were you on the group chat?
Senator, I was on a signal messaging group.
So you were the John Ratcliffe on that chat?
I was.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I provide some context, Senator, to that?
Yes, but I've got a series of questions.
Well, but I think it's important because at the outset you made a couple of comments about signal messaging using encrypted apps. So that we're clear, one of the first things that happened when I was confirmed as CIA director was signal was loaded onto my computer at the CIA, as it is for most CIA officers. One of the things that I was briefed on very early, Senator, was by the CIA records management folks about the use of signal as a permissible work use. It is. That is a practice that preceded the current administration to the Biden administration.
Director Ratcliffe, I've got a series of questions. If you're making the statement, the signal is a secure channel.
No, can I answer that? It is.
I've got a series of
encryption. So
it is. I understand encryption.
It is permissible to use to communicate and coordinate for work purposes, provided, Senator, that any decisions that are made are also recorded through formal channels. Right. So those were procedures that were implemented. My staff implemented those processes, followed those processes, complied with those processes, and finally, just please. So my communications, to be clear, in a signal message group were entirely permissible and lawful and did not include classified information.
Well, we will make that determination, because if it's not classified, share the text with the committee. Let me go on. Director Gabbard, you are the security executive and set access guidelines for classified information. Did you contact the defense secretary or others after this specific military planning was put out and say, hey, we should be doing this in a SCIF?
There was no classified material that was shared in that.
So then if there was no classified material, share it with the committee. You can't have it both ways. These are important jobs. This is our national security. Bobbing and weaving and trying to, filibuster your answer. So please answer the question. If this was Director Gabbard, if this was a rank and file intelligence officer who did this kind of careless behavior, what would you do with them?
Senator, I'll reiterate that there was no classified material that was shared in that.
And if there's no classified materials, share. And then if there's no classified materials, then you can't even answer the question whether you were on the chat. This is strangely familiar, and I think my colleagues will remember, when you couldn't answer the question, is Edward Snowden a traitor? Man, I have serious doubts about anyway. Director Gabbard, I'm going to give you this. Tweeted just 11 days ago, and I'm quoting you. Any unauthorized release of classified information is a violation of the law and will be treated as such. So if this information is classified, what are you going to do?
Senator, 2 points here. First of all, there's a difference between inadvertent release versus
careless and sloppy,
malicious leaks of classified information. The second point is there was no classified information that was on
the information committee should get that information. Director Patel, my time's about out, and I'm going to use my 12 seconds at the chairman game. Director Patel, has the FBI launched any investigation of this?
Senator, I was just briefed about it late last night. This morning, I don't have an update.
I would like to get an answer by the end of the day.
If you're interested in political accountability, classified procedures, and national defense oversight, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. We cover it all. Senators confronted intelligence officials over a leaked group chat allegedly discussing U.S. military plans in Yemen. The concern is that if Houthi rebels had gained access to this sensitive information, American lives could have been lost. Lawmakers pointed to the potential repositioning of enemy defenses as a result of this unauthorized discussion. The gravity of the situation, the leaked content included war plans, a red line in any military communication. Subscribe for more updates as this investigation develops, and trust, there's more coming. Much of the debate centered on the use of Signal, a secure messaging app. Former CIA Director John Ratcliffe confirmed he was part of the encrypted group chat and explained Signal was widely used in federal agencies, even predating the Biden administration. He defended its use for non-classified work communication, claiming his team ensured formal records were maintained through proper channels. But some senators weren't buying it. They argued that if the chat wasn't classified, it should be shared with the committee, transparency, or accountability. That's the core tension. If you value deep dives like this, don't forget to subscribe for independent reporting and thoughtful analysis. Director Tulsi Gabbard refused to confirm whether she participated in the chat, repeatedly dodging direct questions. Lawmakers pressed, "Were you TG in the group thread?" She declined to answer, citing a national security review. This evasion frustrated several senators, who noted that if no classified data was shared, there should be no reason to withhold basic facts. One senator even drew comparisons to past hearings, recalling Gabbard's refusal to label Edward Snowden a traitor. The issue isn't just about one chat. It's about trust, accountability, and precedent. Subscribe to follow this unfolding controversy. The stakes are high. Senatorial voices pointed out, if a rank-and-file intelligence officer had behaved this way, they'd likely face termination or legal consequences. They quoted Gabbard's tweet from just days earlier. Any unauthorized release of classified information is a violation of the law and will be treated as such. But when asked what consequences will be applied here, she hedged, distinguishing between malicious leaks and inadvertent disclosures. Viewers, do you think that distinction holds up? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to keep this conversation going. To close the exchange, Director Patel was asked whether the FBI had launched an investigation. His response, "I was just briefed about it this morning. I don't have an update." Lawmakers demanded a status report by the end of the day. That leaves us with a critical question. Will there be accountability, or will this become another case swept under Washington's rug? Stick with us. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next phase of this ongoing national security investigation. To recap, we've got encrypted apps, war plans, official silence, and growing calls for consequences. Whether this was a security lapse or a systemic issue, one thing is clear: Americans deserve answers. Thanks for watching. If you want more real talk on government oversight, intelligence, and military policy, like this video, drop a comment. And subscribe for clarity in a noisy world.